The queen is back, and she is pissed off. This is DC versus vampires, picking up exactly where we left off with Damian Wayne giving himself to Oliver Queen. He should have known that was a mistake, because Oliver is on a warpath. Even Diana tried to stop him, but nah, he notched his arrow and let it fly. The only person that saved Damian was Swamp Thing himself. He was leading with emotions. Diana was the one thinking, because Damien was an asset. He knows a lot of shit we don't know. I know he was a murdering psychopath, but still, we could use him. This is a war we must win. Sadly, not all heroes could win, because Mr. Miracle was about to face his reckoning. He just said, "Alright, you can have me, but leave my kid." They agreed, and they beat him down. Jesus Christ, it was insane. I honestly believe if he wasn't a new god, he should have died since. Raven was the voice of reason, because the orders was to bring him and the kid alive. But nah, Shazam wanted his people to have some fun. They laughed at Mr. Miracle. Aren't you the one that's supposed to be able to escape from everything? He laughed back. Well, everything is about perspective. Because from my perspective, you're about to be crushed by my lovely 200-pound wife. And she looks angry. He wasn't lying, because Big Barda came in with force. She caved in Mama's skull, and he was done. The rest tried to beg. Hey, we were under orders, but she didn't care. You came after my kid. You put her in danger. As soon as you got the orders, that was your death sentence. Now hold still, so I could crush your skulls too. Watching his girl do her work, he couldn't help but be impressed. Hey honey, you miss me? She looked at him and said, "Shut up, Scott. I'll come after you when I'm done with these guys." She was having fun, but John Constantine was about to regret his plan, because he came to the fortress, the capital of the vampires, looking to strike a deal. He thought he could just waltz in here and talk to Grodd, but Grodd told him, "Shut up. You do not address me. You address my queen." Now he was confused. He thought Barbara Gordon was dead. Well, she wasn't. She just looked like the dead. He tried not to laugh, to be honest, but she knew. She knew how she looked. "Why are you here, John?" He said, "Well, I'm here to strike a deal." He looked at him crazy. "I know nothing of a miracle child." He said, "Miracle child? Damian Wayne to me has always been a bastard." She said, "What?" He looked at her back. "What are you talking about?" She said, "Never mind. You ain't tapped in like I am." Apparently, he was here to make a deal with Damian's location, but he didn't know Damian's location, because if he knew, he would have known this deal was for nothing. Because literally, midway through their conversation, they were interrupted. Damian Wayne was at the front gate. She was like, "What?" Both of them were like, "What?" He was there with Swamp Thing. Apparently, Swamp Thing had come to get the bounty on Damian's head. They were surprised, because Swamp Thing was clearly supposed to be an enemy. But yeah, he wanted to get land for himself. He wanted the green to grow again. They didn't want to let him in, because he was literally made of stakes, the thing that was supposed to kill vampires. But nah, they let him in. And this was part of their plan, because as soon as he walked in, Damian started feeling like he was about to throw up. And he did. He choked up a lot of blood, and they thought, "Jesus Christ, what's wrong with this kid? You messed up my shoes, boy. You will pay." Sadly, they should have been watching the blood, because from the blood, the Atom brought everyone back to full size, and they laid waste to every vampire they could see. A bunch of them had been disgusted about this whole event, but Killer Croc found it soothing, because honestly, he lived in the sewers. He's seen worse. The goal of this operation was to get the humans out, fuck up the treaty, prove that there isn't no peace, just war. And now, Damian decided he wanted to go to the capital, to the tower, and kill whoever's in charge, but Green Arrow wasn't letting him. "You rocking with us now, you snake." Everyone stopped and looked to Swamp Thing as he led the way, because he could sense life, and he could sense dead vegetation in that direction. So it was probably a food truck. They marched, stopping at the entrance to a building where Swamp Thing telling them there was life inside here. So Green Arrow said, "Everybody get ready," because there was a battle about to be fought. Boy, was he wrong. But he wasn't the only one wrong today, because Big Barda had butchered every single person that came across them that were trying to get her child. This party was made up of some of the strongest heroes, and she put all of them down. Y'all underestimate Big Barda. She's like that. Sadly, her man wasn't. She looked at him. Where did you go? I've been looking for you for a long time. He corrected her. Nah, you've been looking for our kid. She, like other vampires, have bought into the magic sauce that their child is a child of destiny. But he knew better. We are literal new gods. Our biology means we are different. That is why we have a kid when we were vampires. Nothing special. Please stop treating our child like some kind of miracle baby. She tried to play the I can protect her card, but he knew, you're a vampire. You're probably even going to eat her. And then she just cracked. You cannot keep her away from me. She is my child as well. She was choking him out, but he didn't fight. Barda, I need you to think and do the right thing for our kid. Like literally at that moment, the heroes pulled up, trying to calm her down. But this was Big Barda. Nobody calms her down. They all had to try to fight her. They all tried to hold her, but she was like that for real. Mr. Miracle saw all this take place, and he decided to do what was right for his child. Big Barda was losing her shit because she thought the heroes were here to kill her child, but they clearly weren't. She didn't want to listen though, so Mr. Miracle just walked away. He was trying to get to a safe place. He was trying to go by ocean, but he should have known that was a mistake. The oceans are his territory. The oceans are the territory of Aquaman. Back in Gotham, though, shit was about to go wild because Green Arrow had discovered something he really shouldn't have. There was no life in this room, but they could still hear a sound that drew him to a door. When he opened it, he couldn't help but be terrified at what he saw. His friend, his brother, Wally West, without his legs, forced to generate power for this vampire city. They went ballistic, killing every vampire in sight and setting him free. They asked him what happened, and he said it was Nightwing, another brother, his closest friend, told the guards to sever his legs. He was too dangerous with them. This was savagery. He begged for death, but Black Canary said, no, you must live. And at that moment, she made a choice. You were right. She looked at Oliver. Every single vampire must die. And so, the killing began. Unfortunately, John Constantine didn't know this. He tried to play it cool. He tried to claim that this was his doing. But that was a mistake because Damien was free and his party was now killing vampires in this city. He was done for. Jesus Christ, I hate that kid. But it wasn't just Damien. The heroes were pissed off. No more vampires. From the tower, they could see the city in flames. They looked at John Constantine as Grodd grabbed his skull. You die today. John said, don't let me turn you inside out, monkey. But Grodd wasn't even afraid because they were prepared for him. They had someone here to nullify his magic. He said, go ahead, kill me, drink my blood. It will kill you from the inside. They said, we won't drink your blood. We will just snap your neck. Crack. He was done. And what comes after? Well, that's war. All out war.